Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
And you are going in Smackdown Live. Who needs Raw?
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it Raw. Oh, baby, I like it Raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and everywhere you can find quality podcasts. Quality podcasts.
Like where, Steve?
iTunes, of course, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, iHeartRadio,
Podbean,
SoundCloud.com/Steve and Larson. We're still not on Spotify. Notice that we get comments every episode. When is it going to be on Spotify? I still don't even know how to do it on Spotify, to be honest with you.
I'll look into it, too.
Look into that. I can't figure it out. I think I have to create a playlist and then upload something so that it's like in a shared folder of some sort. I'm worried that if I do something on Spotify in a folder, it's going to be digging through my own files, and I don't want everybody to be able to dig through my own files.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nobody wants my dick pics. I'm sure there are plenty of people out there who do. I'm just saying I don't know any. So anyways, yeah, we're also there. Also, if you want to support the podcast in a financial aspect, then you can go to patreon.com/Steve and Larson. You can enjoy all sorts of rewards, including the $20 Patreon mark. You can send us video questions,
which will air on our Friday Dirt Sheet.
Little bit
News show.
We got a little bit of change in programming on our channel. We're always tweaking it. It's still, I'd say it's probably 75% of what I envision it to be. I still think there's like some work that needs to be done in terms of like long-term planning. One of those things we're enacting this week, we're going to do an NXT and 205 Live recap show weekly starting this week.
On Thursday.
Usually that was sort of bundled in with the Dirt Sheet. But I think it needs to be its own thing.
Yeah, I feel like a conversation about those shows is somewhat curtailed, knowing that we have to package it in a larger show.
Right, exactly.
But now, if it exists as its own independent thing,
yeah,
we will feel free to discuss it at greater length.
Yeah, and on top of that, so this will allow us to answer the video questions on the Dirt Sheet, which in part allows us to upload our Raw recap show earlier because I'm not fiddling around with the video questions. And I noticed a bunch more people today commented, "Hey, it's up early." Well, we endeavor to get the Raw recap show up as early as possible. The other shows we shoot, we have a schedule for those.
Yeah.
We shoot them in advance. And
yeah,
so,
like we're shooting this right after SmackDown ends,
right after
so we
SmackDown.
can get it up at a reasonable hour tomorrow morning.
Probably do it first thing in the morning. I'll just start doing these like as soon as the morning hits.
Say 9 in the morning.
9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to ask you to stay up that late to get it ready, but
or whatever. Well, I know, but things and stuff. Anyways, moving on. We got to talk about SmackDown, Larson.
I feel like it was a slight improvement over the previous 2 or 3 editions, but it's not to say that it's necessarily on the right track.
Depth is the thing, and
yes.
I know we harp on this a lot. Talking about Harp, how about that Luke Harper? He got a lot of shine tonight.
Yeah, he put forth a great performance tonight.
Okay, so let's just go through this beat by beat. Because
well, no, I think it's fair to
Raw actually has me relatively excited these days, and SmackDown is not.
Let's talk about the depth issue because I think that's a huge problem.
It is a huge problem.
Some of the storylines that they started doing, about 2 weeks after the brand split, 2 or 3 weeks when they really got momentum going.
Right.
We were really into them.
Yeah.
Because some of it felt exciting. They did a great job of interweaving storylines throughout the show. Mm-hmm. But
Miz kind of felt fresh.
Yeah.
Like they were doing really good things. And even
AJ was doing really great work by himself.
At the start of the show, I thought they were doing something kind of cool. So we had, and where do you want to go? Do you want to go straight into the show or do you want to talk about depth?
Let me finish this thought.
Oh, go ahead.
So for 2 months,
yeah,
probably leading up to No Mercy.
No Mercy.
I think No Mercy has been the pivot point where SmackDown went from being a really interesting, at some weeks inspired show to now it just feels like so often they're just retreading the same ground because they don't have the depth to bring in new people to these various feuds. It's like in the upper card, you have AJ, you have Dean, you have now Dolph, you have Miz, and then kind of the periphery of that, now thanks to Luke Harper, is Bray and Randy. That's your upper card. That's it. Upper to upper mid card.
No Mercy
and then there's a tag division, and then there's the women's division. But there's no lower mid card at all on SmackDown of consequence.
I wonder
it doesn't feel like.
I wonder if creative feels like the mid card is if it's sufficient to just have.
I guess Baron Corbin and Kalisto.
Corbin and Kalisto.
That's the mid card now.
But if they feel, hey, we only have 2 hours between a tag division and a women's division, we have to fill in a main event scene. And you know but they have an Intercontinental title. You're right.
But why do they need another huge tag team match when they just did it 2-3 weeks ago?
They literally just did it.
Where that was an elimination match, and this is the Battle Royal. But it was effectively the same thing.
No, I know.
Why?
I know.
Why?
I know you need story. And Bray and Randy were nowhere to be found. I assume were they like on the trip to the troops thing?
No, that was shooting right after SmackDown.
Oh, that was shooting right after SmackDown. Right, okay.
Baron Corbin was at some award show.
He was voted most metal athlete of the year.
Is that a real thing?
Him being an athlete?
No, him being voted that.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He was there to pick up an award for most metal athlete.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Let's kick off the show. So the start of the show was an absolute panic attack because Shane and Daniel Bryan were hanging out backstage, and James Ellsworth, who apparently caught swine flu or some shit.
Well, as AJ said, chinfluenza.
Chinfluenza, and he really thought he was funny for that one. It was pretty funny. Anyways, he's hogging up a lung. It's really disgusting and horribly fake. He didn't do a very good job convincing anybody that he was sick. And Shane was actually kind of funny because he just kept on saying, "Oh, you're nasty. You're disgusting."
Yeah.
Anyways, they basically told James Ellsworth, go home because you don't need to be fighting AJ tonight. I am assuming they let AJ have the night off again because of his ankle injury, so that's good.
I would suspect, yeah.
Anyways, getting to the show. The actual show kicked off after the weird Quantum Leap credits. Started off with Miz TV with AJ Styles, and I thought it was actually proceeding pretty cool. I thought it was AJ and Miz were in there. They were complimenting each other, and then Miz started to sort of turn on AJ and say, nobody else is at. He said, "You're right. I'm not at your level. I'm above your level."
Yeah.
Talking about his own what he's done with the Intercontinental
Made
title.
the Intercontinental title legendary,
and he can do the same thing with the world title. I thought that was kind of cool. I thought that was kind of neat because it's Miz taking the next step, doing something different, going outside of his comfort zone, and we're not going to have just more and more Miz and Dolph.
And him doing that, if they had proceeded with it, they could have brought in the Daniel Bryan aspect of that whole storyline too. It could have made it interesting.
Right, exactly.
But Dean Ambrose comes out.
Yeah, see. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not anti-Dean Ambrose.
I'm just bored of him.
When something interesting is happening, he bores it. He adds bore to it.
He makes it boring.
He makes it boring-er. And same with Dolph. And it's just because we've seen so much of them lately that we've seen so much of Dean and it's nothing against Dean necessarily. It's just we've seen so much of Dean and versus AJ lately. I just have like a guttural reaction just to sort of be like, oh, come on, I don't want that. I was getting something that I haven't seen in a while. Just by virtue of the fact that I haven't seen AJ versus The Miz, and that was actually kind of cool because you have two heels going against each other.
I know.
And Miz has established himself as worthy of that upper echelon on SmackDown. Again, depth issues, but also because Miz has been doing good work.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting. And then I want to go.
And then you hear, "I'm here to show the world."
Again, I'm Dolph. How much are you gonna follow Miz around and bug him for the swimmers?
But it got interesting.
Yes, that's right.
When Luke Harper's music hit,
he came out and he shooed somebody away. Miz, I don't know what he did. Anyways, Luke Harper just showed up out of nowhere, started cleaning house, and it was like, Bray's nowhere to be found. Randy's nowhere to be found. That's kind of cool. It's just Luke.
Some spotlight.
Let Luke free.
Yes.
Set Luke free.
So after that, AJ's backstage complaining to Daniel Bryan and Shane.
Yeah.
And they say, well, we're going to have a number one contenders fatal four-way elimination match.
As the main event.
Between Miz, Ambrose, Dolph, and Luke Harper.
Right. Which was really cool that Luke Harper's in there.
New number one contender for the WWE title.
And then on December 27th,
is when AJ will defend that belt, against the new number one contender,
Which
I guess they expect Ellsworth to be out for another 2 weeks with his fake flu.
I hope he's gone for a little while. That'd be really cool. So that was set up for the main event, which it was like, okay, cool. Harper's in there, which makes things kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And it was great because during that main event, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but during the main event, the crowd loved Harper. They want to see him.
We'll talk about it when we get there.
So anyways, then we had Natalya and Carmella. They had a match, and Nikki was on commentary. I sort of floated in and out of this. Did she say anything of interest? Didn't she say something like, "Oh, me and Natalya are friends. We go way back"? Well,
yeah.
I don't believe
Carmella
she's
won.
Attack me.
Carmella won with a roll up.
Carmella was demonstrating some good.
She was a mat technician.
She put some practice time in. Carmella's looking pretty good these days.
You
in the
can
ring.
tell she's putting in some extra time.
At
the Performance Center.
I've been very impressed with her ever since the brand split. Like she still has some stinkers. Like her no DQ match with Nikki wasn't all that great.
Yeah.
But she's one thing is the WWE will sometimes bring people up way too early and their fundamentals just aren't there even before their fundamentals are there. And Carmella, she was past fundamentals, but she wasn't the most comfortable person in the ring, and she's getting very comfortable.
I think the heel turn did her a lot of good.
I think so, too. Maybe freed her up a little bit.
After that, we learned that John Cena is returning in 2 weeks on the 27th.
Face that runs place, John Cena coming back.
The day after his rumored return at the house show at Madison Square Garden.
No mercy.
It's supposed to be the 26th.
Right.
But his TV return will be on the 27th on SmackDown.
I want to watch him on SNL. Because
I need to see that still, too.
I want to see that. I was thinking of doing like we would do a review, but it's kind of late for that.
Yeah.
Like, it's already been done.
Yeah.
But I want to check it out. Then we had an Apollo Crews sighting. Woo! Haven't seen him in a long time. Haven't seen him since the pay-per-view. My favorite picture. You can see it on my Twitter profile banner thing at MF Steve here, and it's just his the defeated face. Like they won, but he was just not happy.
Yeah.
No, he was like, "This isn't." And again, didn't exactly light anything on fire tonight. It was just him backstage with Gabriel Iglesias, who I think is good friends with Steve Austin. I feel like he's been on Steve Austin's podcast a lot. That might be another portly stand-up comedian, though. I'm almost positive it's him, and I'm probably talking on my ass. Stone Cold Gabriel. Okay, it popped up automatically. Yep, there he is. He's on all these Stone Cold podcasts.
Okay.
So good for him. He's friends with the Rattlesnake. That's awesome.
So, Gabriel was backstage talking to Apollo Crews. Mm-hmm. The Miz and Maurice come up.
Yeah.
I think essentially just tell him to stop talking because the Miz had to prepare for his match.
And, like, his shirt was too loud. And I'm like, why isn't the Miz in his locker room? Like, this is just to be dicks. They're just jerks. So, I mean, he's a heel. That's what they do. But I thought it was rude. It kind of felt like when you used to fat shame me all the time.
I've never fat shamed you.
Yeah, you were like, you eat that burger?
I was just asking because you ordered it.
Eat that burger, fat ass. That's what you used to say.
No, I never said that.
Rude.
Never would say such things.
You used to hurt my feelings all the time.
You're introducing something that we don't actually talk about for another 2 weeks right now.
We filmed the show, count out show today.
That's going to go up on New Year's Day.
Yeah, and I introduced my new impression. Somehow William Regal turns into...
Well, William Regal turned into Michael Caine, which somehow turned into a Gibb brother.
Turned into one of the Gibbs.
From the Bee Gees.
Anyways, you guys will get to that in a couple weeks. So the Miz being a jerk. Let's see here. Tag Team Battle Royal.
Yeah, we mentioned this a little bit. I, for some reason, wrote down who was eliminated in what order and at what point the various teams were eliminated.
I love it. That's great.
So the first one out immediately, Mojo Rawley eliminated Simon Gotch.
Simon Botch.
Really quickly, as soon as the match started.
Can you please tell the people what you said when he got eliminated?
Oh, Simon Biatch.
Yes, that was great. So Simon Biatch got eliminated. Although it was great. Somebody tweeted at us. Where is it? Hold on, where is it? Somebody tweeted. They showed me. Yeah, here it is. Which friendo was this? Oh, Matthew Barisic tweeted at Simon Gotch. Is it true that you actually time traveled to wrestle in the WWE? And Gotch responded and said, you can't prove that. So good for Simon Gotch. That's great. but he got eliminated. Then Victor, who is the thinner one.
The Ascension.
The one who doesn't have the big boo-boos.
Yeah.
Right. He got eliminated. Chad Gable then got eliminated. Who's your favorite coming into this match?
American Alpha.
American Alpha.
Yeah.
Who did I say? Didn't I say Hype Bro? I think I said Hype Bro.
I think you were kind of you'd be cool with either Hype Bro or Alpha.
I think but I think I remember thinking that I thought Hype Bro was going to win the match.
Okay.
Hype Bro.
But anyways, and then Heath Slater accidentally eliminated Rhino,
furthering their possible split up.
It looks pretty certain at this juncture.
Inevitably going to happen.
Then Aiden English was eliminated, making the Vaudevillains the first team to be eliminated.
Right, because if there's one man, in there, then you're good.
Yeah, both members of the team have to be eliminated.
Correct. Then Mojo Rawley was eliminated.
Yeah,
bummed me out, but he still had.
But it's okay because Zack Ryder was still in the ring, and he's
the actual real person.
Yeah,
he's the real one.
Fandango got eliminated, and it looked like it hurt.
By the end, you were actively rooting for Breezango.
Yeah.
And deep down, I was rooting for them sort of second place to the Hype Bro. After that, Jason Jordan, surprise, surprise, eliminated, which meant American Alpha was...
Yeah, that was really surprising.
Yeah, they are going... That's weird. That's weirder than Apollo Crews. Because those guys have charisma. Like, all sorts of charisma. And they're doing nothing with them.
American Alpha should be money.
They
should be money.
They are money. They're just not... They're not making withdrawals, man.
They're money.
What the heck? Interest rates are going up. Slater was eliminated then.
Yep.
So that meant Rhino and Slater were eliminated.
And then Tyler Breeze tried to get Connor of the Ascension out. Connor said,
He's got the big boo-boos.
Breeze was eliminated.
So that was down to Zack Ryder and Connor.
And then Zack Ryder did a Hurricane Rana. Eliminated Connor.
Sent him out.
Hype Bro win.
And
Mojo comes running out from backstage.
And I couldn't tell if Mojo was attacking him or celebrating with him. Turns out he was
trying to merge back with him.
He was trying to merge with him, exactly. In the most awkward way possible. Then we saw Alexa Bliss heading to the ring from backstage and a couple of guys laughing at her or something. I don't know what they were doing. Like, who are those guys? I always see those guys backstage. Like a couple of the writers or something. And she was like, doing that. Shit. So cute, though. Like, with that little belt, too. She's like, I want to make her those little action figures, put her right here and have Finn looking at her, and then they could do sex as action figures. Alexa Bliss, she took. So did we confirm that was Deonna Purrazzo?
Yeah, because Morrow mentioned.
Oh, dude, look
mentioned
at her
by name later on.
Deonna Purrazzo, block party. Yeah, because when I saw her in the ring, I was like, that looks like virtually all the NXT women merged into one, and there was a reason for that because Deonna Purrazzo was like quintessential sort of NXT person.
She has a little logo on her tights.
Did it say D?
That's kind of similar to...
Did it say DP?
That's kind of similar to either the Ferrari or Lamborghini logo.
That sounds really...
I think.
That sounds very generic. That's like she was scrolling through the logos and decided to put that on her on 2K17.
Here, I'll show you.
I don't really care.
Right.
What does it mean?
I think it's just her logo.
You have the brightness down to like -10 on your...
I'm trying to save my battery life.
Yeah, I'm down to 15% myself.
Well, I can't find it.
Well, I don't really care.
But that's what it looks like. She's had it in NXT before.
Anyway, she got freaking dope fiend by Alexa Bliss. She got blindsided like a mug. It was great. Because Alexa Bliss grabbed the mic from the ring announcer guy, told him to F off. And then she got on the mic and started running things down. And then she just out of nowhere.
Right, you can kind of see it.
You're pointing at her boobie.
Well, that's where the logo's at.
And then she sucker punches Deonna Purrazzo right in the jaw. And then Becky Lynch comes down, says, I got my ring gear on.
Yeah.
You want to go?
There you go.
Okay, got it. That definitely does look like a Lamborghini or Ferrari. So I got my ring gear on. Time to go. Time to throw down. And... Sorry, you're obsessed with their damn logo. I'm trying to get your attention over here.
Sorry, okay.
Doing a really bad accent.
You have my attention with bad accent.
So Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Shane comes down and says,
That's not how we do it here at Smackdown Live.
Yeah.
That's what he said, verbatim.
He's like, we don't have a lot of people here, so we gotta.
So you guys are out here. You guys are gonna have a match right now.
We need a match whenever we can get a match because we don't have a lot of people here. Baron Corbin's out being the most metal athlete. Like, how do they let him? It's like, dude, really? You gonna take SmackDown off? Can't they just mail you that award? Is that a real award?
Is he even the most metal athlete in WWE?
No, that's easily Mojo Rawley.
What about Triple H?
Oh man, he literally knows Lemmy or knew him before he passed on.
Yeah.
I know. I don't get it. It's really weird. Maybe Triple H has won it a bunch already, and there's like a limit to how many times you can win it.
That could be.
Yeah, I think
maybe
so.
They were going to give it to him. He's like, I'm good. You should give it to Baron Corbin so we can do a video package on it next week, intercut with motorcycle footage from Breaking Ground.
That's my favorite because it's just him mellow riding. There's nothing menacing about him riding a motorcycle. It's just him contemplating life on his motorcycle. And then like other NWO style shots of him like near a chain link fence and lurking in the shadows.
I know.
I don't get it, man. I don't know why they do that.
He's being metal.
Like, they're not introducing him. We've seen him a lot.
But since he's not on
What's
TV.
he going to do? Come back next week and fight Kalisto again?
Since he's not on TV, they
why
have to...
Why wasn't he in the Fatal 4-Way?
I know.
Make it a 5-way, whatever they call that.
I know. What do they call a 5-way?
We've asked this question before.
And someone gave us an answer.
People
Is it just a fatal 5-way?
Is it a fatal 5-way?
Furious 5-way?
A fucking 5-way. I don't know.
But anyways, Alexa Bliss took on Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and then Alexa got herself counted out, right?
Yeah, she faked a knee injury. Got counted out, and then got back in the ring and tried to beat on Becky, but Becky got the upper hand. Then Alexa turned the tables, but Becky turned the tables again, and then Alexa fled, and then went back to selling the knee injury as she went up the ramp.
Yeah. I was gone for that match because I went to go get some dinner.
Yeah.
I was gone for what I felt was for a while.
It wasn't that long.
That's all I missed.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Then we had the main event.
Yep.
Oh, here's the main event. The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler versus Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose.
Luke Harper dominated the first 5 minutes.
Man, the crowd was behind Luke.
Yes.
Luke Harper is the man. Where's my Luke Harper shirt? I want that.
I don't think they offer one of those yet.
Really?
Not a Luke Harper by himself shirt.
Luke Harper by himself
shirt. Yeah. Let's see what we got.
Luke Harper t-shirts Redbubble. That's where you just make whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoa.
Why is there a
Buzzard Club?
Why is there a grumpy cat shirt? Is that what that is there?
That is a grumpy fact.
I don't get that.
Eat, sleep, cash in, defeat. I broke Wahoo's leg.
None of those are Luke Harper shirts.
What is this? Oh, it's an El Santo shirt.
Oh, that's cool.
Really? Hold on. El Santo shirt. Is there like an official El Santo merchandise shirt?
I don't know.
Ulysses should get me one of those. He knows all those luchadors.
Etsy, that's not official.
Let's see this one. Oh, I want this shirt.
That's
it's probably
cool.
crap, though. It's a
pretty
cool
cool
design, but it's probably crap. Anyways, so our main event, Miz versus Dolph versus Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose. Like you said, Luke was dominating most of this match. It was a fun match.
But The Miz was eliminated pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By a roll-up from Dean.
Yeah.
And so we kind of, obviously, we thought that Luke wasn't going to win. And so we
At
were
no
left,
point did I ever think Luke was going to win.
despite
which was
the fact
sad.
that he dominated the first portion of the match.
I know.
So once The Miz was eliminated, we both thought, okay, it's either Dolph or Dean.
I figured because I read somewhere that they were going to move Dean over to Miz. They were just basically swaps.
Yeah.
And so Dolph would move up to AJ until
Undertaker, I guess, if that's going to happen.
Why did the Undertaker come out and say my legacy is no like? Are
And
we
then
just
not
gonna
show up again.
And then not show up again, and all we do is speculate when who's going to fight at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, okay, so when is the Rumble?
Rumble's the end of January.
Okay, so Dolph won the match. Dolph is gonna fight AJ
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks,
And then about a month after that is the Rumble.
So maybe, because I know they're not going to do Dolph AJ at the Rumble, right?
No.
Maybe.
But then I didn't think they would do Dean Dolph at SummerSlam.
Okay, so here's the deal. They're making this December 27th SmackDown out to be hot shit because John Cena's coming back. AJ's defending his title against Dolph Ziggler. So that's going to be hot shit. So maybe at that show, they'll bring Taker back too.
That would make sense.
You know?
Start building momentum for the Rumble.
Maybe that'll just be their big to do. Maybe they're just sort of biding time until that.
Didn't they announce something?
Because everything just seems like a mess on SmackDown. Nothing really seems
Didn't
to
they
matter.
announce something major happening on Raw the previous night, or am I imagining that?
December 26th, Raw? December 26th.
Didn't they say in 2 weeks, or am I
Raw.
just making things up?
MSG.
That's the house show, though.
Paul Heyman to return on Raw October 10th.
No, I guess I imagined that. Okay.
Nope.
That's
nope.
fine.
You imagined it. Anyways.
So
yeah, and like I said, it was a fun match. It's just, all we got is a swap. It's a swap of the faces and a swap that I'm really not terribly interested in, Although, I'll say this. Who doesn't want to see a Dolph AJ match?
It should be fun.
It should be a good match.
Yeah.
It should be a good match.
It would be interesting, though, if Luke Harper... I mean, it wouldn't happen. If Luke Harper won that match, somehow won the title and gave it to Bray. That'd have been fascinating.
No, dude, look, that would have been amazing. But we don't really do amazing here. That doesn't really happen. So we can't be talking about that because then it just makes me bummed out that we don't do cool shit.
All right, fine.
No, that'd have been great. Luke Harper gets the title and they Freebird rule the title. While we were live tweeting from @Real Going in Raw, though, probably the biggest stunner of the night was the picture of Michael Hayes. Somebody sent a picture of Michael Hayes draped in the Confederate flag. Back then it was a little bit different. And pretty much his dick and balls are out. Like his dick sort of poking through, some of the cloth. Like you can see his little pecker. But your reaction to it was great because I just texted it to you.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh my God, look at his boiler."
Yeah. He had a little bit of a tummy. His hair looked awful.
Chicks love that though, man. Back then, like in the South, I'm pretty sure chicks just love because every guy back in the late 70s, early 80s had that.
I know.
Like I would be getting so much play if I was a hoss back in the early 80s. Man, if I went to the South,
You have to grow your hair out, though, and dye it blonde.
I
Be able to grow a beard.
know. Well,
If you really want to hoss up.
if I really wanted to hoss up, but there was plenty of hosses without a beard. Terry Gordy didn't have a beard. I could be like him. I'd have to really hoss up. I'd have to just like those pizzas in there. That'd be like, a snack for me.
Be like, never mind.
What?
Like we were in college where we eat a whole pizza.
Man, how did I do that?
I did it too.
I know, it was amazing. Let's
I
see.
used to eat like 3 hamburgers for one meal.
Oh,
Lunch.
Metabolism was just off the hook.
I know.
Anyways,
I'm going to answer some questions.
let's answer some questions and yeah.
All right. Ernie
I
Acosta.
was like, where are the questions? Are they written in invisible ink?
Where on the Roadblock card do you see the women's match? Should it be the main event? It will be the main event. Women's match, main event, Roadblock.
Okay, you don't think? Let me ask you this though: if according to you've been hinting to me that the Scoops friggin' Patreon, that the Universal title might change hands. You don't think that's going to be the main event? Really?
No.
You think Charlotte's got to get back? It's like it's a pay-per-view. Charlotte's got that. We'll talk about that in the predictions episode.
Exactly. But I think the women's match will main event, and it should.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude, it's the feud. But neither were they even on. They weren't on Raw.
No,
Oh,
they had
because
that package though,
Yeah, okay.
that video package
Yeah.
that they ran. That was pretty good.
Let's see here. Big Rays are sexy. What are your top 5 official theme songs from WWE pay-per-views over the years? He says he was a fan of WrestleMania 23's Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva. Has like the WWE's pay-per-view theme library is like the largest collection of new metal
Yeah, pretty much,
in
especially
existence.
in the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression eras.
I mean,
It's
okay.
basically, I don't want to say greatest hits, but
Has there ever been any
a mixtape.
Has there ever been any System of a Down
I don't think
as
so.
a pay-per-view
I don't
theme?
think so.
I kind of like some of the System of the Down stuff. Their first 2 albums are good.
I couldn't name a single song from any of the pay-per-views from probably like 90s.
Are we sure that Evanescence wasn't? I
might
feel
have.
like Evanescence had like a pay-per-view
I don't know. Half
theme.
the songs sound the same.
Honestly, I don't know. It's so much new metal, dude. It's just
It is. And I didn't listen to any of that stuff.
It's not my thing.
I
man.
still don't listen to any of that stuff. I probably will never listen to any of that stuff.
I mean, Saliva. That sounds like the name of a band who
It
have
is.
a pay-per-view theme.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Big Razor Sexy.
Yeah,
Didn't
we
mean to
can't be of help.
disappoint.
Well, that
all
one
just
song,
runs together.
the one song from the last takeover that both of us.
Oh, the sort of the punk song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. It was
That was
good.
all right.
To me, that was like oh, this isn't cheesy new metal. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Easy for me, number one. Welcome to my house,
dear.
baby. Take your clothes off. You want to get down. Time to fuck me now. Get on my bed, please do it. Lick my butthole.
All right. Oh, dear.
Patreon champion Carlos Hackworth.
Do you think that having the Wyatts hold the tag team titles will force the other teams to elevate their game?
If tonight was any indication,
There really is no tag team on SmackDown that's even close to being on the Wyatts level.
You said that like Corey Graves. You sounded exactly like Corey Graves just then. That was great. Where the fuck did you get that from? That was amazing. Maybe you can be a panelist on the pre-show.
You almost made water come in my nose.
Well, Booker. There's no tag. I know, but how great of an opportunity would it be for like American Alpha? But now we're gonna get the Hype Bros versus the Wyatts.
I mean, it's an obvious job for the Hype Bro.
Oh man, that's so funny though.
Maybe that'll happen on the December 27th edition of SmackDown Live. It's like since their pay-per-view was the beginning of the month, they could have, okay, we'll have a really beefed up episode at the end of the month.
Yeah, let's actually come to work on the 27th. Certified Chin. Who do you think will take the title from the Meals? You don't. It can't be Dean.
No,
right?
it can't be Dean.
That's such a step down for him. It's a weird dynamic because I feel like the Miz should be contending for the world title.
Yeah.
But Dean shouldn't be coming down to the IC title, so I don't get it. It's weird.
I feel like The Miz needs the IC title to contend for the world title.
He can't lose that, otherwise he's a nobody.
Yep.
Retired Dwayne Nix.
I like the fact they put Luke Harper in the WWE title picture. Could you actually see him winning the title in the future?
No.
Only give it to Bray Wyatt.
Which would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be a truly great story. That would be a great moment. But I just don't see it happening. I would love, maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe tonight, open an eye or two. Maybe it was a test run. Maybe.
No, he did. He did a great job.
I would love to see that.
It's a fantastic performance from Luke
Harper talk about making a star.
Yeah.
If you went about that.
I know.
Danny, you love it. Swinton, hey friendos, Dan here. Imagine the scene. Stephen Larson, start your own fast food chain. What is the name and what superstars do you hire as staff? Number one, I love the fact that he's thinking that we're going to hire WWE superstars as our staff and not like, Hilton.
That'd be a good name for our fast food joint.
Going in.
What would we serve? Let's start with that.
Oh man, like a hot dog stand.
You want hot dogs? Okay.
Yeah, like a hot dog. It'd be like, basically it'd be in my mind. I haven't been there in literally like years, but der Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Be like Wiener Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Be like that. It'd be like combination Wiener Schnitzel and Pretzel Time.
Okay.
Or Pretzel Maker, whichever the good one is.
Yeah.
Because there's like a crap pretzel place, but there's Pretzel Maker. They're good.
Yeah. Okay, so hot dogs and pretzels.
Yeah. I don't know what to call it though.
What should our catchphrase be? Friendo fast.
Friendo fast.
You love it.
You can't just steal Pachini's shit.
Well, I mean, we can hire him on to be our spokesperson.
He'll be our spokesperson. That'd be great. That'd be good. You know what cracks me up too, and then WCPW, like the Pachini Club, like he's taller than all those guys.
Let's just call the place Hot Dogs and Pretzels.
Hot dogs and pretzels. You know what you're getting. Eat it. It's just called Eat It. Haven Elric. It's his birthday question. Does that mean it's his birthday? Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
If you guys could replace the GTA 5 main character cast with WWE superstars, who would be who? Who would be Trevor? Who's all over Westworld. It's great. It's weird because it's like modded Trevor.
Well, Dean Ambrose.
I mean, that's like really, really, the obvious way to go. And then it'd be great if you replaced Michael with Vince.
That's good.
And then who would be what was his name? Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would be Franklin? Did you hear about is it there was one of the dudes from Crime Time.
Oh, yeah.
He took down an armed robbery suspect.
Yeah. Shad
Gaspard?
Gaspard.
Oh, I wasn't really paying attention when Crime Time was around. Who could be Franklin? Shelton Benjamin. Apollo Crews.
Shad Gaspard.
There you go. Intercontinental Champion Jefferson Nakamura.
If you had to remake a disaster movie like Armageddon or something with you and the WWE roster, what movie do you remake and who plays what roles?
If you had to remake a disaster movie.
What
well,
about
who's even in? Oh, they go to the asteroid and they punch it. They try to break it up.
Yeah, blow it up.
They blow it up.
Break it up. Blow it up.
Who'd be Bruce Willis?
Cesaro.
Oh, there you go. Because he looks like he's bald. Looks like him. And then, well, Sheamus would have to be the Ben Affleck character.
Okay.
And then who's the Liv Tyler character? Simon Gotch.
Okay.
And then who's the Michael Clark Duncan character? Vince McMahon. Moving on. Joey Carranza. This is for you, Larson. If you could consider it, how would you book a Bray Wyatt face turn? Or, Steve, how would you book a legit Big Show addition to the Wyatt family? Man.
I think you have the tougher story to formulate here.
Nobody in the history of time would ever believe Big Show going to the Wyatt family. They just wouldn't believe it. It's not believable.
I don't think it's that hard to turn Bray face.
Oh, not at all. People would pop so hard if he won the title. They popped so hard when he won the tag titles.
Right before he got hurt this last time, they were kind of teasing the face turn for the Wyatt family. Mm-hmm. The crowd was super into it.
Yeah, dude. People want to see
hard.
People want to see Bray be successful regardless of what he's doing.
Jericho Kunzman. Larson, what do you think of the Eagles this year? They're mediocre.
Austin Luff. Do you think the women's division on really? I thought they kicked off the year really good.
They did. They started strong, but they've been playing well the last
strong.
Half of the year.
Austin Luff. Do you think the women's division on SmackDown has some catching up to do in comparison to the division on Raw? And how can they achieve this? I think they do.
Here's the SmackDown women's division problem. It seems to me. We've said for a long time they have depth in so much. Any one of them, conceivably, anytime, could win the SmackDown women's title.
Yeah.
Whereas on Raw, there's 3 legitimate contenders for that belt.
Yeah,
so
right.
Raw, Raw has the star power, whereas SmackDown has the depth. Well, we've said for a long time. Yeah. But right now, the SmackDown women's division is really lacking star power.
Here's the thing, though.
That's what it feels like to me.
And that's the thing. I think SmackDown, depending on how the draft goes and depending on how NXT shakes out in terms of women coming to whichever brand, the main roster, like Alexa Bliss in 3 years is going to be huge.
Yeah.
I really think so.
And I think Becky Lynch still has
she's
tons of potential to be a huge star.
Becky Lynch she's one of the 4 horsewomen. Like she belongs, she's in that class.
I just think she hasn't been booked terribly well.
No, she hasn't.
On SmackDown, especially after she was champion.
She hasn't. I think that it's the kind of thing where SmackDown has a weird mix of like, I said this on the Raw recap show. They sort of have this Total Divas vibe to them simply because of like a bunch of them are on Total Divas. Plus you throw somebody like Carmella who has kind of a Total Divas vibe to her. I think she does. And so you kind of have to get, now I'm not saying they're bad wrestlers at all. I was praising Carmella left and right earlier. But you have to get kind of past that thing. And then on top of that, book them into storylines that matter. Like when Carmella comes out and runs down Nikki Bella simply because she's John Cena's girlfriend. And then you have Natalya as like crazy cat lady, and it's entertaining. But I just don't know if that's they're not gonna move ratings doing that the way Sasha and Charlotte evidently do.
Yeah.
So you need, and that's the thing that's the problem with sort of being on SmackDown, which we've openly said it tends to be a goofier show. You're a goofier show, so there's not a lot of drama to be had there. I mean,
when SmackDown was going well, they found a very good balance of goofiness and drama.
Right.
And just now, there's not a whole lot of drama to the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. Somebody mentioned something about Zack Ryder being injured. I'm trying to find that out right now.
Oh, he was selling something, but I don't know if he's really hurt.
Okay, all
right. East Bay hardcore champion Ricardo Reyes. Hey, friendos. So imagine you discovered the One Ring.
Okay.
Who carries the ring? Which one of us, I guess? And which WWE superstars do you call upon to join your fellowship?
Oh, Ricardo, you're such a nerd. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings guy.
Nor am I.
I'm not a guy. I'm not
But
that.
who would we trust with our lives or safety?
In the WWE
Yeah.
pantheon?
Yeah. Well, which one of us would carry the ring to Mordor?
You look more like you look both more like Frodo and
Samwise?
Samwise. You look more like a Hobbit guy. And you look more like what's that little dude's name? Smeagol. The little dude who's like
Gollum.
Precious. Yeah, Gollum. You look more like him. You look more like all the ugly people. I look like one of them fat like dudes with an axe. I could be that guy.
You mean this guy?
Yeah, that's who you look like. The only person I'd trust in my life, really, if I was like a Hobbit, is Mojo Rawley. His name sounds like a Hobbit name.
Mm-hmm.
Mojo,
It does.
come with me on a journey. Oh yeah, bro, I'm hype. Give me that ring, yo.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Smappy Jones. With Donald Trump becoming the #1 contender in Steve W. Yeah, I love these questions. Which fictional, non-fictional character would make a good wrestler? Not the actual person, but the persona, similar to how Razor Ramon was adapted from Scarface. I feel like Captain Kirk. So like we've got like the vaudevillains. They're time travelers. Mm-hmm. Why not a space traveler in the form of Captain Kirk?
But it's a character inspired by Captain Kirk, not actually Captain Kirk.
Well, I just want Captain Kirk.
Okay, Captain Kirk then.
Yeah, like I don't care which one. Christopher Pine, William Shatner, animated version, whichever one.
Yeah,
I don't really care which. I just want Captain Kirk in wrestling. That'd be rad. Or Commander Riker.
Yeah, Riker.
Yeah,
that's a better answer.
Riker's a better answer than Kirk. Riker is the worst. Worf.
Oh, Worf would be good.
Worf would be great.
Worf was great.
He'd literally kill people. He'd be like the Dan Severn. He'd think it's a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to do a Worf impression, and for some reason Morrow came out. Oh, I'm a Klingon. Hitman and Taldo.
If you were to remake your favorite movie, which wrestlers would you have to replace the original actors?
I feel like we've answered that 5 times already.
Yeah.
Your favorite movie? What's your favorite movie? I'll do The Graduate, and it'll be.
No, I want you to do Hard Day's Night and replace the Beatles with wrestlers.
No. Listen to this. I want to do The Graduate. Okay. I want to do The Graduate, and instead of Dustin Hoffman, it would be Enzo Amore, and instead of Anne Bancroft, it would be. I mean, the obvious answer is Lana, but I kind of like Big Cass.
Hey, I thought you were going to say for Mrs. Robinson have Linda
Vicky Guerrero?
Linda McMahon.
Oh, Linda McMahon. Oh, man, that's gross. So old.
What's my favorite movie today? It changes.
Yeah.
Traditionally, it's Clockwork Orange.
A bit of the old in and out.
So who would be a good Alex?
I like Alexander Delage. You bastard. Mojo Rawley.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But the old in and out. Go hype. Jose GGR. Who would make for the best party? Mojo Rawley, Enzo Amore, or Rob Gronkowski?
This is kind of tough. It's between Mojo and Gronk.
Donnie Suarez says Gronk. I feel like it'd be like #1 if you're going to go to a Gronkowski party. I feel like Mojo's going to be there. They're like buddies, aren't they?
They're practically the same person. It seems like.
He said,
a lot of respect.
Hey Gronk, so you're close to breaking the record for all-time career touchdowns on the Patriots at 68. If you get one more, I'll be at 69. Who the hell just says that? God, I love Gronkowski.
Gronk does. Mr. Money in the Bank, Adam Mayhem.
The latest signee, the greatest signee, came off the Friendo draft waiver wires.
Well, no, it's not. It's either the draft board or the waiver wires. They're not the same thing. You know how like waiver wires or draft boards work, apparently.
You don't know how our draft waiver wire works. Anyways, ask the question.
The situation. 48-hour short film festival. You're making a romantic comedy.
Okay.
Pick a male lead, female lead, male supporting, and a female supporting actor from the current roster.
Okay.
Who would they be, and what would the film be about?
All right.
Rom-com.
Male lead, Mick Foley.
Okay.
Female lead, Eva Marie.
Male supporting, Victor from the Ascension.
And a female supporting. Wait, no, hold on a second.
Nothing's going good so far.
Okay, female supporting. Who do we have? We have Mick
Peyton
Foley,
Royce.
Peyton Royce. Alicia Fox. James Rodriguez was seen as set to return on the same night as AJ's next title defense. Do you think The Undertaker will return to challenge AJ for the belt, or will Cena get put into the title picture instead while Taker is left to feud with someone else at Mania?
I think the first part. Taker will return, throw his hat into the title scene.
I'm here to my legacy. No mercy. Spoiler alert, Taker did the No Mercy theme song.
The original caffeinator. Due to the atrociousness of the Universal title design, which superstar should win the title,
ugly.
then create a personalized belt a la Stone Cold Smoking Skull belt.
What would Roman Reigns, how would he design that?
It would be made out of the
Universal
same material as his vest.
Yeah, I like that.
It wouldn't be
That's
a
good.
leather strap. It'd be Kevlar.
I like that. That's good.
And I guess it'd have his logo as the center plate
Yeah. It'd be rad, a Y2J Universal title.
that has lights in it.
Yeah, it's got LEDs in it, but it's also got like in rhinestones or whatever they use, like in doing that stuff.
Yeah.
I would like
That'd
that.
all be good stuff.
All good. Everything we say. Alex Foster. Fat bastard champion here. Alicia Fox. I love that. I'll never get over that. What WWE superstars in character would you guys like to sit with at WrestleMania?
Mojo.
Rawley.
He'd be hyped the whole show.
Oh, the entire... that'd be exhausting, though.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be so exhausting. I'd want to sit next to...
What about... Would that be a wrestler?
I'd want to sit next to Alicia Fox. I want to sit next to Noam Dar. He sounds awesome. Look at head. What a bastard. Jeez, Noam Dar. Undertaker, you suck. Look at those crews. Oh, I'm supposed to be in there. Oh no, that Mitch. W. Steve. Okay, Jacob Omega. You are not W. Steve W. Heavyweight Champion. I should have said Jacob Omega. You are not Heavyweight Champion W. Steve W. However, he does have a question. If you had to go to summer school, what 5 WWE wrestlers would you want as your classmates, and who would you want as your teacher?
This kind of feels like the Breakfast Club question.
Yeah. If you had to go to summer, remember that movie Summer School?
Yeah, with Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon, yeah.
I used to love that movie. And
then-
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, and Kirstie Alley. Remember, and then when I was like a teenager on Scrambled Porno, they had My Bikini Summer. And I remember I would just watch because they would show like the trailers for it. So you'd get a little bit of skin, but you never get any nipple. So I just watched the trailers over and over again. My Bikini Summer. I don't know why I remember that. God, that was literally 20 years ago, and I have no idea. It was over. It was like 23, 22 years ago. I have no idea how I remember that. Jeez. My Bikini Summer. I want to look this up now.
Teacher should be Matt Bloom. Albert. Lord Tensai.
Teacher is Lord Tensai. Yeah, Bikini Summer 1991. Is that when I came back to California? Maybe.
5 wrestlers we have to be in the class with.
Undertaker.
Okay.
Mojo Rawley.
Yes.
Who did you cheat off of? Who's the smartest guy?
Yeah, who seems real smart?
Well, Tunga went to Harvard.
That's true.
Lex Luger, he had a BA in marketing, so I'd want to be him in the class. That's all you want. You want people you can cheat off of.
Okay, so that's 4.
Yeah.
Xavier Woods.
Oh, yeah. Xavier Woods. Jake Landon. If Sami Zayn goes to SmackDown Live, how soon do you think he could win the world title? He says WrestleMania 34 off AJ or Shinsuke Nakamura, depending on when they bring Shinsuke up. I'd like to think that's the case, man. I just don't know. There's so much great talent at the top of
the WWE in general.
In general. I mean, I don't know. If Sammy went to SmackDown, he'd have to contend with, AJ's up there. Samoa Joe's going to be there probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about people who are already there, plus people coming in from NXT. Like, Bobby Roode comes in from NXT. He's going to leapfrog a lot of people. That being said, I would love to see Sammy take the path to the Universal title.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And I think that's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, especially not in the next couple of years.
It makes me wonder, given what we kind of know about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and how they came up, it makes me wonder if Kevin Owens wants to slingshot Sammy up to his level now that he's at a certain place, or if he even thinks that's possible.
Matthew Barisic. Can you see Orton playing the long reverse swerve by staying a Wyatt until he retires?
No. This is going to culminate by WrestleMania? What'd you say? By Mania?
I wouldn't be surprised if they had a match at Mania.
Yeah, I would think that.
But I think it'd be cool if he did it for another year.
Oh, I know. I
Wait
agree
until
totally.
WrestleMania 34.
I agree.
That'd be fascinating.
KitchenAid Cruiserweight Champion Ed. I know you guys work top to bottom on the questions, but how about working in the questions with several likes? Giving friendos incentive to read each other's thoughts, not their own. Oh, because you can like stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have a lot of time to do anything these days, so we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Can we arrange the questions based on likes? Yeah, popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that might be a way to raise the stock of your questions.
Okay,
by making
all right.
a liked one.
All right, no, that's good then. All right, Ed, KitchenAid Cruiserweight Champion.
That's a good idea.
All right. Well, next time we'll go to most popular.
Yeah.
We'll go from there.
Yeah.
Magnum TA Champion Nathan Ragland. He says Nat here. Let's say the WWE is having a contest to have an all-paid expensive trip with WWE.
Like I said, all-paid expensive trip. All-paid expense trip.
With any WWE NXT superstar and our tag team for a weekend. Who would you hang out with and where would you go? He said he'd go with, no, wait, Jose. An all-paid expensive trip with any WWE superstar.
Well, if it's an expensive trip, that changes
Yeah.
my answer.
Yeah, well, okay, just say, well, really? From what to what? I'd hang out with Bobby Roode.
Where would you go?
I'd hang out with Sanity, and we'd go to Detroit.
You go to a junkyard.
Who'd you go with?
Um,
I'd go with Noam Dar to like the strip club. Ooh, look at her. Look at her weird boo-boos. They are flopping all over the place. Alicia Fool. I'd go with undisclosed Gibb brother. Hey, where you going now? Going to Bermuda, baby, Bermuda, baby. Hey.
someplace in the Mediterranean.
I'd go with William Regal to a castle somewhere. I'm going to a castle. I'm going to a castle.
I was waiting a gradual
There's no
change into the
nothing
Gibbs.
gradual.
I don't know. I'm tired. Let's move on.
Juggernauts, the Going in Raw Grand Slam champion. There are wrestlers who come into the business as faces, but they turn heel and get over. Can you think of situations where heel wrestlers turn face and work better as faces? So far, only Daniel Bryan comes to mind. Oh, Daniel Bryan was a great heel. He just couldn't be heel anymore. Who's a heel that ends up working better as a face? I think AJ kind of needs to be a face.
Yeah, he will.
He's not he's not a threatening heel. I want to. That's like Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
He's a threatening heel.
Yeah. Kurt Schwuski.
Schwuski.
Hey, friendos, going to Roadblocks Sunday.
Nice.
End of the line.
Yeah.
Hoping to see other friendos.
The end of the line.
How do you two feel about so many pay-per-views? Kurt feels like at times it's congested and stories can't develop as well.
I'll be honest, Kurt. I'm down with it because it gives us more opportunities to make videos. It gives us more to talk about. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm fine with the pay-per-view
I
schedule
don't want
right
it either.
now. I'm fine with it. Like it's just it forces storyline changes here and there. Like they're forced to pivot sometimes. You know, they wake up. Oh, what's Vince going to want to do today? We don't know, so we'll figure it out. I think it keeps creative on their toes sometimes.
Yeah.
Because those always feel like story breaks. Terrence Thompson. Shinsuke Nakamura is an absolute phenomenon, but the NXT fan base is a complete 180 from the main roster audience. For fear that his initial main roster run may be underwhelming, I believe he and Joe should both be on SmackDown. No, Terrence. They've had such a feud that they need to be separated. He'd also like to see Ambrose feud with Nakamura. Ambrose isn't first on my list to feud with Nakamura. I've got quite a few others that I'd prefer to see.
Yeah.
Nate Morris, if you could have a WWE version of The Hangover, what superstars would you have in it? Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and
Mojo Rawley.
No, I was going to say the Club.
Oh, okay.
Just the Bullet Club.
Okay. Sir Eddie, how would you introduce Ty Dillinger.
Tyler Durge.
Royal Rumble, maybe at the 10 spot, or just a debut on SmackDown. Rumble 10.
Right. I would do this. I would have like a series of video vignettes, like for months leading up to this, where it's Ty Dillinger facts, and then he'd do these stupid internet memes, and it'll just completely underwhelm. It'll shit the bed, and then, oh wait, I'm thinking of Kurt Hawkins. Never mind. Boy, they really missed the boat on that one.
Yep.
Big time. They thought he was going to be a star, I bet.
No, I don't think they thought he was going to be a star, but they thought he'd probably be entertaining.
Yeah.
And it seems like they pulled the plug on it once they realized it isn't going
Where
anywhere.
is he? Is he back on Grimm's channel?
He's probably on Superstars or something like that.
I love Grimm. He's probably better on Grimm. Gene the Grappler. I would have asked this question last night, but tonight's a much better opportunity. What is the point of the 205 Live show after SmackDown Live? We see the Cruiserweights wrestle on WWE Raw. I don't really connect the two, to be honest with you. I mean, they wrestle on Raw to have the big spotlight, and that could potentially, if people see that, they could think, oh, wow, they have their own show over on the network? That's kind of cool. So I see that.
I feel like it would have made more sense if they had done it after NXT. I understand logistically it's not possible if they want to do it live, but that would have seemed like a better fit.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan Chicken Pot Senpai. He says, what is happening with America? I'm sorry, I'm stealing this one.
What is happening with American Alpha? I thought it was a lock for them to win tonight.
So did we.
Mojo won all by himself in Tag Team Battle Royal. How far can Mojo? He's got it backwards. Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
As a solo performer in the tag division.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit already.
Yeah. Eddie Men. The Miz has been putting photos of the IC title belt on Instagram where he shows multiple WWE stickers on the belt. Do you guys think putting stickers on the belt is disrespectful?
I mean, there's not stickers on the belt when he comes out.
Yeah, if you don't subscribe to his Instagram feed, you'll never know.
Yeah, I didn't know that he was doing that until right now.
Yeah, me neither. Jason the Cabbie. So you're at your favorite bar, having a few drinks. I feel like he's just recounting his night last night.
Seems that way, yeah.
When things go sideways and a fight breaks out. However, instead of drinking with the big stars, you're out with high-profile star jobbers. Who do you choose as a partner so you'll be able to walk out without a stab wound? What's a jobber that you'd be cool with? Luke Harper. I mean, he hasn't been in a program where he's come out on top, so he's technically a jobber. I'm going to say I'm going to roll with Luke Harper.
Dan Matha.
Oh, that's a bad idea. Didn't he? He botched some shit.
Yeah, so that he was in a match with Cedric, and they thought Cedric got hurt.
Why would they ever put him in there with Cedric? The official Gary Doyle. First off, thanks for the shout-out and your Raw recap, but I'm a returning Patreon, as I briefly had to delete my first pledge due to thank you for coming back,
yes.
Gary. Sorry for airing your personal shit here. Do you have a favorite referee or referee spot? Yeah, Lil Nate. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily
yeah,
Lil
Nate.
Nate
was great.
It's Lil Nate, then Nick Patrick, the NWO ref.
And then Chioda.
Chioda, just because he's Chioda.
And because remember we went to Raw here the first time after I moved back to SAC, and it was before the show actually started. It was a dark match.
Yeah.
And I go, hey, it's Chioda. And he looks at me and throws that up.
The thumb, yeah.
Not quite a too sweet.
Not the too sweet, but
it was great. And we weren't sitting that close. We
weren't. He heard you.
We were like 12 rows from the ring.
Why would you ever say, hey, it's Chioda?
Because I know it's Chioda.
You know his name. Nobody ever said, hey, it's Hebner. Mantar Jr. Do you guys buy Dolph as a credible threat to AJ? Sadly, Mantar, I do not.
No.
Sorry.
Let's do 3 more.
Tres
we
más.
still have trivia.
Tres más. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is a good question. Penultimate Tommy Wiseau says, oh, hi, Marks. Did either of you buy XFL merch?
No.
No, but...
Ulysses sent us... I can't remember. Oh, it's over there.
Oh, yeah. He sent us an XFL banner, a little flag thing, movie thing. No, I did not give a shit about the XFL. I was like...
I watched the first game they broadcast.
Football. Oh, yeah. I watched He Hate Me.
Yeah, it wasn't good football, though.
Yeah.
Remember they had that rule where you could tackle the guy who was catching a punt and you couldn't block for him right by him. And so people got lit up and they said, We're gonna change that rule.
That's such a that's you know what's gonna happen. You know exactly what's gonna happen. People are gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Lil Wayne was on Jim Rome fairly recently talking about how football's all watered down because nobody can get hurt, and I'm like, I get your point, but I don't really want to see people get hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just a big softie, and I fully admit that.
No, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. It's uncomfortable to watch.
I know, but let me ask you this, though. It's kind of like wrestlers. You're getting into an industry.
No, it's an occupational hazard. I understand that. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume, especially now with what we know, granted, it's not the full story about concussions. If you're getting into football or hockey or professional wrestling, you know that's, as I said, an occupational hazard. You could potentially get CTE or suffer head trauma.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're willing to accept that, then that's fine. But still, I don't want to see anybody out there trying to field the punt and get destroyed and have a broken leg or get knocked out cold.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I know.
It just isn't.
I know. His point, Lil Wayne's point, was people do tune in for the brutality, and I'm like, I don't know.
Some people might. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like, you know.
I mean, Live Leak is around if you want to see brutality. You can see all sorts of fucked up things there.
I mean, there was a time when we would watch ECW and they would do crazy stuff, and we'd sit there and enjoy it.
That was so before we knew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we got older. We don't enjoy that.
And you know what's funny is I put the question out there a couple weeks ago. I said, is anybody in their 20s? Because I was like, okay, maybe it's a sensitizing thing. You know, we're older. Maybe there's a sense of mortality that comes into play. We got kids, whatever. I was like, anybody out there in 20? No, I got a couple responses. I'm in my 20s. I don't like to see that shit.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody like get permanent damage.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Well, part of it, back then, is especially with the shots to the head, we just didn't know.
VH Costa says, hey, friendos. Oh, he says, what would you feel about a Shawn Michaels surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble? I'd be thumbs up about that.
Yeah, me too.
Not going to happen, but I think it'd be great. And he's the one who sent us the cool metal version.
Yeah,
of
it's
the
awesome.
theme song. We're planning on doing it. We're gonna mess with some things. We'll probably integrate your theme for the podcast.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
We'll do Jake Woodthorpe.
Okay, I like this one.
Do you ever think WWE will have a wrestler hold an NXT title and a main title at the same time? Could somebody like Asuka do double duty as double champion, or would it be too much?
I think Asuka would be the perfect person to do that. I think Shinsuke has proven that he can lose. I don't think he needs to be undefeated. I think Asuka, I don't know if she needs to be undefeated, but I think it would really add to her mystique if she does.
Yeah.
Like Shinsuke has got that sort of unpredictable, he can lose type thing going, even though he's still sort of an alien. Asuka seems like a force of nature. She should never lose. She's so far above everybody. Good questions.
Yes.
See if you've asked any of this stuff here.
We gotta make sure they're all question side up.
Time for trivia.
All right, we haven't had this one yet.
I feel we have this. Wait. Make sure something here quick. Yeah, I had that one. Those are some hard questions too, but I think we had it. Oh, cool. I don't remember this one.
Okay. I think you asked first last week. First one.
Yeah.
You might as well just put a finger up.
Okay.
True or false? Stephanie McMahon is a former women's champion.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. True or false? Put your finger up. To win Hell in a Cell, you must escape the cell.
That's false.
Very good.
Which WWE diva holds a black belt in martial arts? Remember, this is 2000 as of 2009.
Okay, yeah. A black belt in martial arts. Victoria?
Maurice.
In what African country did the women's tag team title once change hands? Whoa. Did the women's tag team title once change hands? In what African country? There's so many weird things going on with this question.
Egypt.
Very good.
What title was on the line in the Chris Jericho HBK ladder match at 2008's No Mercy?
No Mercy. That would be the World Heavyweight Championship.
Correct.
Name the first WWE superstar to appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Hogan.
Yes.
On what holiday did CM Punk make his 2006 ECW debut?
ECW. I'll say Thanksgiving.
Independence Day.
Ooh. In what type of match did Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart compete at in WrestleMania 12?
Iron Man.
Correct.
Ooh, I'm going to go for the clean sweep.
Pretty sure you're going to win.
What was the name of the New York, New Jersey XFL team?
Fuck.
Yeah, it's tough.
New York, New Jersey. The Liberty?
The Hitmen.
That sounds horribly. That's not good. I only got two. True or false? WWE has performed live events in all 50 states.
I would think they have done shows. I'm going to say false.
You'd be wrong.
No. I don't know if they got into
So
Alaska.
you got four. You got two more. Me. You got two cards.
Yeah.
Man, might be closing in on me.
I overthought it. The pressure.
I hope none of those are my cards.
Luther Reigns.
Whoa, let me see Luther. Oh, man, I did not know who that guy is.
We're running out of these. Oh, there's more over here. I want this one. Trying to hide cards from me.
What's that one?
Escape Power Move with Batista.
You going to escape his sit-down power bomb?
And
the Batista bomb?
Triple H and looks like, what's his name? Snitsky?
Oh, I love Snitsky. He's still around. He still does stuff. They need to bring him
All right,
back.
I'm climbing back. I'm going to win trivia.
You're going to win trivia?
Part of it, you can't find all your cards. So whoever at the end has the most of these wins.
Oh, I'll find my cards. They're around here somewhere.
All right.
In Bama's toys somewhere. Anyways, good job on beating me in trivia.
I should have got 3 cards. I overthought that question. Oh, well.
Yeah, I know. I was like, of course they have. They'd have made a big deal about it.
I don't know if they
It's been a
I
long
don't know if
time.
they've been to Alaska or Wyoming or Montana.
yeah.
Well, Wyoming
Big
makes sense,
time.
but Montana.
Montana? You don't think they've been in
I
a...
don't know.
What's in Montana?
Billings.
Where's Minneapolis?
Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
That's
I
a
always get
large
those
city.
two confused.
Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's a large city.
Billings, Montana. What else is Montana? Nothing else, really?
Bozeman.
Largest
Bozeman, Montana.
city in Montana.
Missoula. That's a university
It is,
town.
in fact, Billings.
Okay.
Billings, WWE. Yeah, live event results. Yeah, all right.
All right.
All right, well, thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe and download button to kick us back up in the top 150 because we haven't been there in 2 days. Maybe a day. Maybe we were there yesterday briefly. Anyway, we want to say thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.